Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And that is so incredible that, you miss out on opportunities because you think you know it and you don't. And something like that, which is a boring subject, you can find a real superpower that really helps people.
How do they identify their own superpower? What would be your recommendation?
Right. What is your message? How does your business help people? What is the reason that you got into business? What is what you consider to be your ability? What are things that you consider to be skills? How can you make somebody else better with your products, no matter what that is? Are you an entertainer? That's a superpower. Are you somebody that inspires people? That's also a superpower. Are you an educator? Like I myself, I wish I could consider myself an entertainer, but I try to be funny and it doesn't always work out. So I'm going to skip that part. I'm an educator. And people like you, Ralph, yourself, you're an educator too. You know how to break down and, for example, find somebody that has an ability to market products or services and ask questions and break it down and also build your organization and your agency and deliver quality products. That is a superpower in itself. And I think anybody that has a business generally takes it for granted. I mean, even, for example, if you go into something as boring as accounting, taxes. Well, man, sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but when I talk to my accountant, he blows me away. He gives me a whole email, right? Like right now we were doing, I told you guys a story about, things that we're handling legally. I'm not going to get into with like my dad or setting up our future, right? And we're with the CPA and we are with lawyers and we're going over the details and they write me this whole explanation as to what could be done in regards to the laws, Puerto Rico laws, United States law, estate laws, and taxes and gifting and all that stuff. And they break it down. And after I read it, I don't understand a single word of what I just read. And I replied to the email and I said, all right, guys, I'm going to ask you for a favor. Can you please, and I am paying them a lot of money, right? Because these guys, they sit down and they break it all down and they're going to send me a bill. I asked these guys, right, my lawyers, I said, can you guys explain in just a few sentences, as briefly as possible, what it all means? And then they come back and they explain, Manuel, what this all means based on the article such and such and such, and based on this particular section right here, is that here you go. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. These guys just saved our business millions of dollars because they discovered something that I wouldn't have discovered. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And that is so incredible that, you miss out on opportunities because you think you know it and you don't. And something like that, which is a boring subject, you can find a real superpower that really helps people. And let's say on that same example, Amanda, like talking about content, on that same example, you put this accountant and this CPA to start teaching people about these things, you're going to get an audience. You're going to want to learn about it. I wish that I had, Ralph was saying at the beginning, like, it's not really as competitive as you think. It's right. You're absolutely 100% right. I wish that I had a CPA teaching me about wealth building that can really give me a breakdown. And whenever this person has a service to offer, I wouldn't even go anywhere else. I would go to that person. There's not enough of that. There's not enough of these professionals that are well educated, that are well informed, that have knowledge that they take for granted, but we wish we could have. So my recommendation to anybody that's listening is that you got to figure out what is the purpose of you having that business? Why did you get in it to begin with? Do you have an organic garden and you sell organic products because you believe in the nature and you believe that you're going to be able to extend the longevity of somebody's life? Well, that's a huge superpower. And you got to talk to people about it. And you can either write about it, or you can create a podcast, or you can do videos, or you can do infographics. There's so much that you can do for you to communicate that superpower. And in the long run, if you do things right, if you continue listening to Perpetual Traffic, if you get educated, well, you're going to know what to do with these people that are consuming your content. And that's the number one thing that everybody needs to understand. And it doesn't happen overnight. That's for sure. It never does.